After a wave of shootings, a Goldsboro community activist shared solutions on how to improve safety in the city, and none of his suggestions include increased patrols. On Friday night, Goldsboro police arrived to Harris Street. Once there, they found a man suffering from a gunshot wound. Detectives say the man was critical, and this may have all started with an attempted robbery.
So there's, a lot of fear within the community, a lot of searching for solutions.
While in town, we stopped and talked with community activist Richard Taylor. He's been reading the latest headlines on how deadly shootings in the city are on the rise, and he offered some solutions.
It's going to be up to the community, the members of the community, to start engaging, policing ourselves, and, interacting with those youth.
Taylor, though, believes addressing those hotspots will take more than just police intervention.
We hold some type of culpability to try to intervene and give them some outlets, give them some deterrence, give them some redirection. We just want to send a message to the youth that, it's not worth killing each other over a disagreement, over an argument, over a relationship, over a few dollars. All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Richard Taylor, and I'm back with some information regarding the incident that happened on Friday, this past Friday, June the 29th, if I'm not mistaken, here in Goldsboro, North Carolina, where an individual was shot in an alleged robbery attempt on the corner of Taylor and Harris Street, which is in Goldsboro, North Carolina. Now, this city has been racked with violence for the past month or so. And as you see from the interview that I did with my man John Payne from WRAL, that was on the scene of the situation that happened Friday. Now, what I have in my hand right here is the police investigative incident report regarding that incident. So I'm going to go over it with you real quick, show you some of the information on the report so we can get a better understanding of what went on. Of course, that night, I think I received several messages about someone getting shot in the back of the head 2 times. And a couple of reports said that he was deceased. Later, I found out that the individual victim who is listed in this report was in critical condition and had been transferred to Biden in Greenville. But this is another sad case. All the individuals listed in this report are under the age of 26, and 3 of these individuals are listed in the victim report. Now, as you can see here, the crime was a robbery with a dangerous weapon, and it happened on the 1900 block of Harris Street. And it happened around 7 o'clock. And the weapon that was used was a handgun. And that was perpetrated by the victim, as you see. Now, this victim name is Angel Daniel Ortiz Roldan. And, his name indicates a Hispanic descent. Of course, they always have 2 last names. And as you see, his birthday is April the 22nd, 1998. He's age 26. Now, it lists his address, and I'm not going to, of course, I block out the street address, but it lists his address in Wendell, North Carolina, which is going to prove very significant as I relay more information. Now, this was the victim, and it says, as you can see, others involved. Now, others involved in this incident, maybe it seems that they were accompanying the victim to the scene of this crime. One other involved was Riley Grace Allen Weber. of the same address in Wendell, North Carolina. And then you have Edwin Nuarez, which also denotes, or his name connotates, a Spanish descent, also listed as the same address. Now, these individuals, the first one, Grace Weber, was the age of 20, and Ed Nuarez was the age of 23. Now, also in the resident status, now, domestic in, as you see there, it says non-residents. Now, I'm not sure if this indicates their relationship to the residents listed on their ID, or non-resident status as if they are immigrants. But if you look further down on this report, it says that the property that they were robbed of was $200 in currency. Now, it also lists a vehicle as the property description, and that is a Nissan Versa. Now, I'm not sure, once again, because the investigation is still going on, I'm not sure if this Nissan Versa was taken during the robbery. But I'm going to give you some information and try to put all this together. There's another individual listed, in which I won't provide their name because I think they may be a witness. It doesn't have a victim or perpetrator, but this individual is 39. Now, as you see in the investigative report, there's a list of officers who arrived on the scene. But the narrative that they're saying that the police put out is the victim was robbed by unknown suspects. The victim was robbed. Now, also, if you look, once again, it says robbery with a dangerous weapon. So the crime doesn't include the shooting, which we also all know happened. So that is somewhat strange. But as you see, the victim was robbed by unknown suspects. Now, in this incident suspect list, now they do provide the name and the address of a suspect, and consequently, this person's age is the age of 19, just turning 19, and he's a black male, 6 feet tall, that stays in Goldsboro, North Carolina. Now, the only reason that I'm not going to show his name, because if he has not been arrested and he is a suspect, then that would interfere with the police's investigation. Now, if in turn I do find out that he has been arrested, then I will revisit this video and provide that information. However, this suspect is once again a 19-year-old black male, and this incident was once again reported to be by a botched robbery gone wrong. Now, the thing with that is we don't know, once again, who was shot according to this report and who did the shooting, because it lists Mr. Ortiz Roldan as the victim of the robbery, but it does not mention him as the victim of the shooting. So once again, I'm not sure if maybe the young man who was the attempted robber ended up getting shot by either Mr. Ortiz or his associates listed here, because they did not provide information regarding the shooting. Or we don't know if, the victim was robbed and shot by the individual who is listed as a suspect. But the reason that this actually kind of coincides with possibly a robbery by an unknown suspect, because of this post that was shared with me from What's Up Goldsboro. And I'll put it on the screen. It says, "Please be careful meeting people to buy things from the internet. A young man was robbed and attacked trying to buy something and is in critical condition. Head injuries, several other critical injuries. Please say a prayer for him. Goldsboro not as safe as it used to be. So according to this post, this indicates that Mr. Roldan Ortiz was the victim of the shooting because it says he was robbed and attacked with several head injuries. Now, the reason I can kind of lean towards that post is because if you see all three of the names of the victim, and I guess this is the victim's associates, are from Wendell, North Carolina. Now, I didn't know what Wendell was until I sold a car to this guy in Wendell. That's about, 15, 20 minutes from Raleigh, about an hour away. Now, if you know anything about Craigslist or eBay or any of those sites, people will come from afar to get the product they want. So that's what makes it seem plausible that this is the situation. Unlike what I mentioned in the video, this is not a situation where people were known to each other and engaged in some kind of beef over a relationship, a slight, a disagreement, a feeling of disrespect, a few dollars, what have you. This is an incident where individuals did not know each other, and one individual thought that they were coming to buy some goods, and the other individual, sadly, from Goldsboro, attempted to rob those individuals. And so there were a lot of reports saying, it was, maybe a drug deal going bad or whatever. But according to that post and according to the way this report reads, that was not the case. Now, I also, heard a few other things, but there is possibly also some recording or video footage, from whatever camera that was around that apparently caught the incident on tape or on video. So hopefully this incident won't go unpunished. But of course, because of all of the violence perpetrated against people who've known each other within the past month, we're sort of happy that it's not that, but it still alludes to young men, in this case, young black men, engaging in violent criminal behavior, in which, unfortunately for this incident, Mr. Angel Daniel Ortiz Roldan did not lose his life. And so we're going to keep you updated on this. Once again, the police, of course, they are ramping up patrols and presence, which I feel at this point, it is definitely a good thing to deter people. But as I mentioned in the video, we definitely going to have to do more as an overall community, because once again, this young man is 19. He's somebody's son. He's somebody's nephew. So there has to be somebody who can intervene with them, or, where did we drop the ball at, as far as community is concerned, where all these young individuals are engaging in behavior that is causing, or has the potential to cause, loss of life and or leave them in prison for a long time, basically a de facto loss of life. So my number, 919-587-7782. I just thought I just had to come and give some clarity to this event, to give, because if anybody knows Willow Run, that is not an area where this type of behavior normally happens. Evidently, I'm thinking, because of course, with my mind, I wouldn't call it a criminal mind, but I've known a lot of criminals. So I'm thinking that, this young individual just picked the location and met these individuals there to perform the botched robbery. Now, once again, and I can't imagine why, if you're going to rob somebody, and once again, the car is listed in the property description, so I'm not sure if the young man took the car. But if you're going to rob somebody for $200, like, why are you going to shoot him? Unless, the individual may have had a handgun himself. Maybe he didn't want to give up the money, whatever the case may be, maybe the young man with the gun was scared and felt threatened. There are so many variables to this situation, but I was thinking that maybe, okay, well, since the assault with a deadly weapon wasn't listed or attempted murder wasn't listed, then maybe it was the alleged victim who opened fire on his attempted assailant. But nevertheless, we will keep an eye on this. I have some people looking up that name of the suspect to see if he has been arrested, because once again, I don't want to put the police's investigation in jeopardy or the young man's life in jeopardy if someone would want to retaliate against him. But my prayers goes out to Mr. Ortiz, if he is the one that is the victim of the shooting, or even the young man. He definitely is not beyond repair. So I definitely keep him in his prayers. But nevertheless, 919-587-7782. If you have any information or any stories that you feel need to be exposed, feel free to call me direct, or you can send an email to taylorpublishinghouse@gmail.com. Y'all have a blessed and safe day, and enjoy your 4th of July weekend. Stay safe out there. Peace and love.